You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Well, Black and White Sports fans, what is going on between Stephen A. Smith and ESPN? Now, the NBA season has already started, guys, and we're 11, 12 games into the season, depending on which team actually played. But Stephen A. Smith has not appeared on NBA Countdown. Not at all. Not in the preseason and not during the regular season so far. And up until this point, guys, there's been really no announcement whatsoever. Now, we know that Stephen A. Smith is their $21-25 million man. Stephen A. Smith has his own podcast as well, his own show. He does a whole bunch of things, but he will not be returning to NBA Countdown. Was he fired from Countdown? I don't know, but Stephen A. Smith, he's actually talking about it now, folks. And the media is saying one thing and Stephen A. is saying something else. So we'll get into that, guys. But I find it interesting now that we're this far into the NBA season, still early though, and now all of a sudden ESPN is making an announcement and Stephen A. Smith's name is nowhere to be found. So was he actually fired from NBA Countdown or was it actually something else? Let's go ahead and get into this, guys. Here we go. Right over here. Stephen A. Smith off NBA Countdown in ESPN surprise. ESPN is making changes to Stephen A. Smith's on-air duties. The worldwide leader announced this week that the new look NBA Countdown team will debut Wednesday, and Smith was noticeably missing from the lineup, which includes third-year host Malika Andrews alongside senior ESPN writer Brian Windhorst, 2023 NBA champion head coach Michael Malone, and former NBA champ Kendrick Perkins as analysts. Additionally, ESPN senior NBA insider Shams Charania will continue to make regular appearances on the show. ESPN said the new look crew will lead pregame and halftime coverage for select NBA on ESPN game nights throughout the season. So, no Stephen A. whatsoever. Smith has not appeared on NBA Countdown in the preseason or regular season thus far. It comes as ESPN added Inside the NBA with TNT losing its coverage of the league. The celebrated show starring Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny Smith, and Ernie Johnson appeared on many of the ESPN's big game broadcasts already and will be a significant part of the coverage throughout the playoffs and NBA Finals. He has not publicly addressed the news. Well, that's not necessarily true because Stephen A. Smith has addressed it, folks. But first, man, I saw this right here. Dan Dockich over there at Outkick. Because Awful Announcing is also announcing that Stephen A. is no longer a part of NBA Countdown. But Dan Dockich puts this out. What is he actually good at for any money, much less than $20 million? No good on NBA. Out. No good on Monday Night Football. Out. Not on baseball, awful on radio, can be used as an analyst. His show is average to awful, not making ad money. I mean, really, guys, ESPN has been losing money for Disney for a long time. But anyway, anyone ever thought to ask, what is he actually good at doing on sports television besides yelling and showing up? Legit question. Oh, man. Maybe Stephen A. is actually going to run for president now. Maybe he is. But look at this here, right here. Stephen A. Smith denies reports of removal from NBA Countdown on ESPN. Stephen A. Smith is pushing back on reports that claim he was removed from ESPN's NBA Countdown, insisting the move was negotiated long before this week's headline surfaced. Speaking on his Sirius XM program, Straight Shooter with Stephen A. Smith, The longtime ESPN personality said the narrative suggesting he was fired is flatly inaccurate. Smith explained that the shift away from a full-time role on NBA Countdown was settled during his most recent contract negotiation with ESPN, a process that stretched from last June until early spring. This is what Stephen A. Smith has to say, guys. Quote, I had a contract negotiation last year that started in June and ended in March, going into April. It was decided at that particular moment in time that I wouldn't be doing NBA Countdown anymore because I didn't want to. However, Smith stressed that his decision wasn't about dissatisfaction with the network or the show. Instead, he cited the workload and the late night studio schedule as reasons he stepped back. He noted that balancing First Take, his podcast, outside media projects, and other business endeavors made the nightly countdown grind increasingly difficult. And we know that those NBA shows, they can last well into the night, and then Stephen A. has to be up on the next day for First Take. But he goes on. He says this, quote, I love doing the show, but after the show is over, I got a whole bunch of other stuff that I want to do. I didn't want to be stuck in studio until midnight, Smith said. No shade against ESPN, no shade against my wonderful colleagues. But in case you haven't noticed, I got other things on my plate. Are you running for president, Stephen A? Just asking. Even so, Smith said he remains willing to contribute to NBA Countdown as needed. He emphasized that his relationship with ESPN remains strong and that he is open to appearing on the program throughout the season. Quote, I'm always available, he said, because once you're working for ESPN, they're part of your family. You're a part of family. And if they need me for anything, of course, I'll show back up on NBA Countdown. They need me a few dates a year. Sure. So that is Stephen A. Smith now addressing whether or not he was actually fired. Now, guys, he knew about this, his words, pretty much earlier this year. Zero announcement that he wouldn't be on NBA Countdown. Now, all of a sudden, man, when the news actually drops, hey, we got this lineup here and there's no Stephen A., he is now bringing it up now instead of actually, bringing it up because he mentioned, man, that he got his money. But he never said that he wouldn't be back on NBA Countdown. Maybe people are actually expecting him to show up on NBA Countdown, but he never addressed it. So, what do you guys think of this? Was Stephen A. Smith fired from NBA Countdown, or is it true what he said? He just didn't want to do it anymore because it's too late at night and he has too much other stuff going on. I guess you have to be the judge of that, guys. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.